Imagine waking up tomorrow, free from regret, worry, or frustration. What if I told you that some of the wisest minds in history, Stoic philosophers, unlocked the secrets to this kind of life over 2,000 years ago? And the best part, their wisdom becomes even more powerful after 50. Because this stage of life isn't about slowing down, it's about mastering how you live. Before we dive in, if you want proven strategies to live stronger, happier, and wiser every year, subscribe now. Let's make aging the best chapter of life together. Now back to the journey. The Stoics believed happiness isn't about changing the world, it's about changing how you see it. Today, we'll break down their most powerful life rules so you can navigate challenges with confidence, find peace in uncertainty, and create a life of true fulfillment. Ready? Let's begin. Life after 50 brings changes, some expected, some not. Your body feels different, relationships evolve, and even your sense of purpose might shift. Society often tells us that aging is about decline, about losing what we once had. But what if that's completely wrong? What if this stage of life isn't about losing, but about mastering, about gaining the wisdom, resilience, and perspective to navigate anything with unshakable calm? The Stoics believed that true happiness isn't found in youth, wealth, or even perfect health, but in how we respond to life's challenges. They taught that suffering comes not from events themselves, but from how we think about them. And after 50, that shift in mindset isn't just helpful, it's life-changing. Imagine facing uncertainty without fear, setbacks without frustration, and change without resistance. That's what Stoic wisdom offers. It's not about controlling the world, it's about controlling how you show up in it. And today, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Rule number 1, control what you can, let go of the rest. Life has a way of reminding us that control is an illusion. We plan, we prepare, we hope, and then reality unfolds in its own way. Unexpected challenges arise. People come and go. Our bodies change. No matter how much we try, some things will always remain outside our grasp. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it simply: happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Yet, how often do we stress over things that are completely out of our hands? After 50, this truth becomes even more important. We can't change the past. We can't control what others think of us. We can't stop certain changes in our bodies. But here's the liberating part. Those things were never ours to control in the first place. The more we resist this truth, the more we suffer. The more we embrace it, the lighter we feel. So what is within our control? Our attitude, our habits, the way we choose to spend our time. And that distinction makes all the difference, because when you focus on what you can change, life stops feeling like a constant battle and starts feeling like something you can truly shape. Think about it. Have you ever spent hours, maybe even years, dwelling on something that you had no power over? Maybe it was a missed opportunity, a relationship that ended, a mistake from decades ago. But what did worrying ever change? Nothing. It only stole your energy from the things you could improve: your health, your mindset, your future. The Stoics understood this deeply. They practiced letting go of what was beyond them so they could master what was within. And you can do the same. The next time you catch yourself feeling frustrated or stuck, ask yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, take action. Start small. Maybe it's shifting your focus from past regrets to the opportunities of today. Maybe it's choosing to respond calmly instead of reacting with stress. Maybe it's deciding to care for your body, not because you have to, but because you can. Now here's something to reflect on. What's one thing you've been stressing over that's actually out of your control? Take a deep breath and let it go today. Share it in the comments. I guarantee you're not alone. Rule number 2, Memento Mori. Remember, life is short, but that's a good thing. At first, the idea of Memento Mori, remember you will die, might seem dark or unsettling. But to the Stoics, it wasn't about fear. It was about focus. It was a reminder to stop sleepwalking through life, to stop waiting for someday, and to truly live. Because when you accept that time is limited, you stop wasting it. You start living with urgency, purpose, and intention. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once asked, "You are afraid of dying, but how is the way you live any different from being dead?" That's a hard truth. How many days have slipped by in regret, hesitation, or routine? How often have we told ourselves, "I'll do it later," without realizing that later isn't guaranteed? After 50, this truth becomes even more valuable. We no longer have the illusion of endless time, and that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Because knowing that time is limited forces us to stop waiting. It pushes us to say what needs to be said, to do what needs to be done, to let go of what no longer serves us. Too many people live as if they'll be here forever. They put off happiness, they delay dreams, they avoid important conversations, they wait for the right time, only to realize, too late, that the right time never comes. But Memento Mori reminds us that the clock is always ticking, and that's what makes life precious. If life went on forever, nothing would feel urgent. We wouldn't appreciate the small moments, the people we love, the simple joys of being alive. But because our time is limited, everything matters more. So think about it. If you only had 1 year left, what would you finally start doing? Would you reconnect with an old friend? Would you take that trip you've always put off? Would you stop living for other people's expectations and finally do what makes you happy? The truth is, you don't need a crisis to wake up. You don't need to wait until it's too late. The time to start is now. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it someday," ask yourself, why not today? So here's my challenge to you. If you fully embraced Memento Mori, what would you finally stop postponing? Let me know in the comments. Maybe today is the day you take the first step. Rule number 3, Amor Fati. Love everything that happens. Life doesn't always go as planned. We face setbacks, losses, and challenges that seem unfair. But what if, instead of resisting them, we embrace them? That's the power of Amor Fati. Love your fate. It's not just about accepting what happens. It's about seeing every event, good or bad, as something that serves your growth. At first, this might sound impossible. How do you love something painful? A loss, a failure, an unexpected turn in life? But the Stoics believe that every hardship is an opportunity, if you choose to see it that way. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, put it perfectly. A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. In other words, the strongest people aren't those who avoid hardship. They're the ones who use it as fuel. They don't just survive challenges, they transform because of them. Think about your own life. How many times have you looked back on a difficult moment and realized it made you wiser, stronger, or even led you to something better? Maybe you lost a job, only to discover a new path you never would have taken otherwise. Maybe a painful breakup helped you find real self-worth. Maybe a health scare forced you to prioritize yourself in a way you never had before. These moments felt unbearable at the time, but they shaped you. And that's the essence of Amor Fati, not just tolerating challenges, but embracing them as part of your journey. The truth is, resistance drains us. When we fight against reality, we suffer twice, once from the hardship itself, and again from our refusal to accept it. But the moment we stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How can this serve me?" everything changes. Because here's the thing, life will challenge you, that's a given. But whether those challenges break you or build you, that's your choice. So here's my challenge to you. Think back to a challenge in your life, something that felt unfair, maybe even unbearable at the time. Now ask yourself, did it teach you something? Did it make you stronger? If you've ever turned a struggle into strength, share it in the comments. Your story might just inspire someone else to see their own hardships in a new light. Rule number 4, the obstacle is the way. Turn problems into power. Life has a way of throwing obstacles in our path. A job loss, a health challenge, a relationship that falls apart. In those moments, it's easy to feel stuck, defeated, or even ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But what if I told you that every obstacle you've ever faced wasn't blocking your path, it was the path? The Stoics believed that obstacles aren't something to fear or avoid. They're the very things that make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the things we think are holding us back are actually pushing us forward, if we choose to see them that way. Think of a difficult time in your life. Maybe you lost a job, had a major setback, or faced a challenge that felt impossible. In that moment, it might have seemed like the worst thing that could happen. But what if, instead of being a dead end, it was actually setting you up for something greater? There's a powerful story about a man who lost everything. His business collapsed, his finances were wiped out, and for a while he felt like his life was over. But instead of giving up, he made a choice. He would rebuild, smarter and stronger. He studied his mistakes, took risks he never would have before, and 10 years later, he had built a life beyond what he ever thought possible. His loss wasn't the end of his story, it was the turning point. And that's the Stoic mindset in action. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, how can I use this? Instead of seeing difficulty as something to avoid, see it as a teacher. Every challenge holds an opportunity to grow, to learn, to adapt. This isn't just ancient wisdom. Science backs it up. Studies show that people who reframe challenges as opportunities for growth have lower stress levels, better mental health, and a greater sense of purpose. And after 50, this mindset is even more important, because life will keep throwing obstacles our way. The question is, will we let them stop us, or will we use them to fuel our growth? So here's my challenge to you. Think of a time in your life when you faced a major obstacle. Did it in some way make you stronger, wiser, lead you to something better? If you've ever turned a problem into power, Share your story in the comments. You never know who it might inspire. Rule number 5, practice gratitude, even for the smallest things. Happiness isn't about getting more, it's about appreciating what you already have. The Stoics understood this deeply. Instead of chasing wealth, status, or external validation, they found joy in the simplest things. And today, modern science backs them up. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea, it's a powerful tool that rewires your brain for happiness. But after 50, it's easy to focus on what's lost. Maybe you've lost people you love. Maybe your body isn't as strong as it once was. Maybe certain dreams didn't unfold the way you hoped. And if you focus only on those losses, life can start to feel like it's slipping away. But what if instead you focused on what's still here? Think about it. Right now, you have things in your life that someone else is praying for. Your sight, your mobility, a warm bed, a meal today, the ability to hear the voice of someone you love. None of these are small things, but they become invisible when we don't take time to appreciate them. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for." Take a moment to reflect. How many things in your life right now did you once wish for? Maybe it was a home, a partner, a certain level of financial security. And now that you have them, how often do you stop and truly appreciate them? The key to gratitude is practice. It's not about waiting to feel grateful. It's about training your mind to see what's already good. One simple way to do this is by starting each day with a gratitude habit. Here's a challenge. Every morning, before you get out of bed, list 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. A warm cup of coffee, a message from a friend, the sound of birds outside. Do this for a week and watch how it changes your outlook on life. So tell me, what's one thing you're grateful for today? Drop it in the comments. Let's create a wave of gratitude together. So here's the truth. You can't stop time. You can't change the past. But what you can do is decide how you'll live today and every day moving forward. That's what Stoic wisdom is all about. It's not about denying hardship. It's about facing life with strength, resilience, and gratitude. It's about choosing to focus on what you can control, embracing challenges as opportunities, and appreciating the time you still have. Because the best years of your life aren't just the ones behind you. They're the ones you choose to live fully, starting now. So which of these Stoic rules spoke to you the most? Was it learning to control what you can and let go of the rest? Remembering that life is short and meant to be lived fully, turning obstacles into opportunities. Or maybe simply practicing gratitude for the small, beautiful moments of everyday life. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're ready to age with wisdom, strength, and purpose, subscribe and join us. Because this next chapter, it's yours to write.